What's the stupidest thing you ever seen a religious person called satanic?
My mom was terrified I'd accidentally summon a demon playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
A microscope. An acquaintance of mine called a microscope a gift from the devil because it makes people question the divine plan.
Masters of the Universe. It was back in the 80s. My crazy, over-the-top, religious aunt said, "It's satanic. There is only one master of the universe and it's God." 6 Yo me rolled my eyes so hard, I'm sure you could hear the noise it made.
Rocks. I'm a rock hound, and collect rocks, gems, and stones. The link between crystals and spirituality has gotten me called a devil worshipper, for liking rocks. I don't even use them spiritually, I just like shiny poo.
My dad wouldn't let me watch anything that had magic or monsters because he thought it would let demons into the house. This included Power Rangers, Ben 10, H20 Just Add Water, Harry Potter, Scooby-Doo and more. The most ridiculous one was not letting me watch Jessie on Disney Channel. This had no magic or monsters, but he thought that the pet lizard one of the characters had represented the snake that deceived Eve into eating the apple.
Once I had a classmate and she had a cartilage piercing. We had an assembly and this group of people with puppets came and told the story of Easter. At the end we were walking out and one of the people from the group walked over to my classmate and said, "What is that thing on your ear?" She said it's a cartilage piercing, and the person from the group walked over to where the group was packing their stuff and said, "She has definitely got to have worshipped the devil. That disgusting ear piercing she's got."
I knew this Christian lady that refused to eat deviled eggs. Edit. My wife said her cousins weren't allowed to eat candy on Halloween when they were kids because their mom didn't want to celebrate the devil's birthday.
Had a young cousin who thought they were deviled eggs, until a relative corrected him. He refused to eat them afterwards. Much cuter hill to die on when you're only 4.
Decorative owls, owl-themed home decor.
Back in the 90s my family had a home PC. We didn't have much, so this computer was a big deal to my brothers and I for schoolwork and some good old-fashioned DOS games. My dad managed to figure out how to get a screensaver with sound onto the computer, was quite proud of himself too. He failed to mention this screensaver to my mother, who is very religious. So one day I am sitting in high school and get called to the principal's office mid-second period. Now I am a darn near straight A student, who didn't get in trouble ever. So this isn't something that has ever happened to me. I get to the office, and I was told my mother called and was very distraught and I needed to head home to be with her. I hear the secretary telling another office staff that she was losing her mind, and a few variations to that effect. I rush home to find the pastor from church, performing an exorcism on our computer. My mother praying fervently through gasping sobs. The pastor and my mother prayed for some time, before my dad came home. My dad gets home mad he was called home, then he just starts laughing hysterically. Calls my mom a few variations of dumb, goes and wiggles the mouse to bring the computer up and plays the Darth Vader screensaver he added to the computer. Give in to your anger. With each passing moment you make yourself more my servant. I find your lack of faith disturbing. You underestimate the power of the dark side. If you will not fight, then you will meet your destiny. You know all the come to the dark side quotes. With a picture of Darth Vader's face. Of course my mother couldn't get the computer to do it again because she kept messing with it, and it never went back to sleep mode. So of course her first thought was we had a evil satanic computer possessed by the devil himself. The pastor just quietly snuck out with me during my dad's laughing and my mom's sobs. Editing to add. Holy crap, this blew up. I can't believe this story about my mom was what did it. Thank you kind souls for all the awards. Less than 3. I will answer a couple questions here. Yes, my parents are still together. My mother is hard to handle at times, and so is he while drinking. He has learned to just say yes dear a lot, and try to diffuse situations. I'm not sure it matters, but I am a woman. So many of you thought I was a guy. No, the pastor wasn't there for sexy times before the hysteria started. He was called just like I was from school. I honestly don't know if the pastor believed her. He never saw or heard Darth Vader. They would touch or move the mouse enough to not allow it to sleep. I do know, she fully believed it, so he did what he could to help ease her hysteria. I also to this day don't know if my mom saw the screen saved and heard it or if she just heard it. I always assumed she was busy elsewhere and only heard it. To those talking about mental illness, nothing has ever been diagnosed, but no diagnosis has ever been sought after either.
Got to appreciate the pastor asking no questions, no further investigation. Computer demon, you say, I'm on it.
Without a shred of sarcasm, I once heard an evangelical describe hot Cheetos as a product of the devil.
It's because there's fire on the package isn't there.
An energy drink. Edit. Yes, I was talking about Monster.
And the devil laughs.
Tampons. I'm not joking or lying. When I was a kid, early 90s, there was a God botherer protesting outside a Supered, UK pharmacy chain, screaming about the satanism of feminine hygiene products corrupting women into sin. This God botherer was a woman. Man facepalming, rolling on the floor laughing.
My wife's mother pulled her out of the Care Bears movie when she was a kid because the bears were casting satanic spells out of their stomachs. My wife still holds a grudge.
I appreciate your wife's dedication to this grudge. I will die mad about it, in solidarity. That was rude AF.
The 80s country music song, Elvira, by the Oak Ridge Boys. They were convinced they were singing Hellfire Up instead of Elvira.
A toothache. The devil is trying to enter my body, was the quote. Initially I thought they were making a weird joke. They were serious.
Ah yes, teeth, the portal to the soul.
Back in the 70s it was a lot of stupid barcodes. The little symbol on Procter & Gamble products. Yoga and/or meditation. Lots of different music by different artists. My small-town Christian private school had a particular teacher who was absolutely dying mad about his students' fondness for Michael Jackson, AC/DC, and other bands of the time. The funniest one of all was dancing. The joke around my conservative Christian college in the 80s was that sex was outlawed because it could lead to dancing. For some bizarre reason the administration thought dancing was totally evil.
Footloose intensifies.
I remember a lady saying she refused to eat mushrooms, they were satanic because they grew in the dark.
Oh, I love that. That's hilariously ridiculous. I'm finding out so many fun, stupid new things that people think are satanic.
Being left-handed. A church I visited wouldn't let me play music BC of it.
Medieval and early modern witch hunters used to believe left-handed people were witches, because it was unnatural. In fact, the word sinister comes from the Latin word for left.
D&D, but strangely enough not the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I was forbidden from D&D as a kid but encouraged to read Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. But they were both nice, safe, Christian authors.
Movie theaters. My dad couldn't go to movie theaters as a kid, because his parents are so obsessively religious.
My friend's parents wouldn't let her watch any Jim Carrey movie because of that devil horn hairdo in Ace Ventura.
For a while I wasn't allowed to use the word weird, because it was associated with witchcraft. Apparently because Shakespeare wrote about the witches of weird. Edited to say, thanks to those of you who are knowledgeable about Shakespeare and are able to explain how ridiculous of a claim this was. It's helpful to hear as an adult. But 8-year-old me didn't have a leg to stand on at the time. I was just trying not to burn in hell for all eternity. Cold sweat smile.
The Shakespearean comes from the Old English word weird, pronounced like weird, but round your lips on the vowel, which meant fate, the fates. The three witches in Macbeth were called witches of the weird, because they were implied to actually be the three fates that weave the world fabric in pagan mythology, shaping Macbeth's destiny. A Scotsman should have known better than to give his true name to three ladies stirring a cauldron in the woods, so he kinda deserved it tbh.
Godzilla, because God's name shouldn't be used like that. Told his kids there was a spelling error and it's actually called Godzilla.
I didn't expect this to come up. I don't think that he knows that Godzilla is literally the English transliteration of Gojira. Edit. Changed a word after it was pointed out to me. Thanks, home slices.
The same teacher who taught abstinence-only sex ed class took away my deck of magic cards because they were satanic. How am I supposed to keep my virginity without my magic cards?
Did you get it back?
The peace symbol. My HS biology teacher saw me wearing one and explained the peace symbol. It's an inverted cross. The sides have been bent down and away from God.
That guy definitely sounds like he taught evolution.
14-year-old me with a CD player.
The sound of an electric guitar. Mental gymnastics.
Video games.
Then you pull the reverse Uno card and play Doom or similar games where you kill demons. Look at me, Ma, I'm a good Catholic boy.
Women speaking or asking questions in church.
When I was young, around 5 to 7 years old, my mom threw away a hobgoblin toy because Radio Vision Christiana said to rid your home of satanic images. I remember it because it was the first time my mom lied to me because she told me she didn't know what happened to it.
Vegetarianism.
Giving the devil's lettuce a whole new meaning.
My mum called my art satanic because I drew dragons and wolves with horns when I was a kid.
Frank Zappa's album, Jazz from Hell, was required to have an explicit lyrics sticker. It is instrumental. Harry Potter.
The Lord of the Rings works and the Chronicles of Narnia. Both Tolkien and Lewis were devout Christians. Edit, wow, I didn't realize this would blow up like it did.
Sporks. I once heard someone say, the spork is the devil's utensil, because it is the amalgamation of the masculine fork and the feminine spoon and is trying to blur gender lines in society.
Pokemon. Edit. JFC, I didn't expect this get over 5k updates. I was just scrolling on the toilet.
My aunt told me Pokemon cards were so evil they could burn holes in the Bible. It was way too easy to disprove.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.